Hello, everyone. Welcome to the grand finale of the MGS3 European Extreme Tournament. With me, I have Mini Omega King doing comms. What's going on, Mini?
Hello, Sparty. How are you doing today?
Doing all right. Getting ready to watch the finale. So a little bit over the formatting, how it works. Now, we'll get the runners counted down, and then we'll go through all that. So let's go ahead and give them a countdown.
All right.
And they should be off. The format you want to go through is this is going to be a double elimination. Is how it works. So you would have to lose twice in order to get eliminated. Now, Apache yesterday already won the first game. So Major is going to have to beat Apache twice today to claim victory in the MGS3 tourney. But Apache only needs to win once. So if he loses the first game, he can win the second game and still be the champ. Apache has not lost yet this tournament. He likes to say he's undefeated in races, and Major is going to have to beat him back to back at the title.
Yeah, so we are timing this race using a load remover component for a live split. So the PS3 is notoriously very finicky with load times. So in this case, we've got the load remover functioning so that regardless of console or version, everyone is mostly on the same even footing.
Correct. So this way we don't have to really worry about whose console loads faster. As long as you're staying on those black screens that you see every time they go from room to room, it's just going to count gameplay plus your menus and your codecs. Things like that. It just will not count the black screens or the white screens. So great tool to really measure.
So they are playing on the European Extreme difficulty, which means that it's game over if discovered. So mistakes in these upcoming rooms with guards are going to be very punishing because you will have to redo the entire room from scratch. And that can lead to some, just compounding mistakes because you have to constantly redo the room from start. Both of these players are very experienced and very good, so we'll probably be seeing backups from them if something does go wrong. This is the actual first room with guards, and you'll be seeing a technique called the quick headshot. You hold square and hold L1, then go into first-person view and hold the two shoulder buttons. And as long as you're on the same even plane as a guard, that will put you at just the right height to hit them in the head, knock them out instantly. And they're putting a trank into a guard and rolling into them. We call that a trank roll. That basically will just instantly knock out a guard, regardless of where you hit them with the trank shot.
That mechanic works in, I think it works in like 2, 3, 4, or even 5, where you just put one trank anywhere on their body. And then if you roll into them or CQC them, it's instant knockout. Very nice technique.
Yeah, it's very good.
The other one, like Mini was talking about, is just letting the auto aim. You hold square, then stand on your toes. Shot as long as you're in an even plane, and you'll see that the first shot in Rosvet.
Yeah, they're not really
first shot. You were wondering how are they getting these soldiers so fast? They're using that mechanic where you're just holding square, the shoot button, and then standing on your toes, and it's an instant line up with their head. Key roll coming up from both of them, and they both nail it.
So yeah, Virtuous Mission is pretty much just an introduction to the mechanics that we'll be seeing throughout the rest of the run. It's not too difficult of a section. It's like the first 5 minutes of the run. There is still, of course, room for stuff to go wrong, but in general, this is mostly a chill section to start off. The real difficult stuff begins when you get to Operation Snake Eater, which we'll be doing after the upcoming Cure menu. that we'll have to go through. And there is some optimization on the cure menu. The intended order the game wants you to do it is 3 cuts, a broken bone, a cut, and a broken bone. But if you go from the second to last cut, and press right, you'll go to the actual last cut, and you can cure that one first, and then do both broken bones in a row. That saves about a second. It's a very minor menu optimization, but at high level, like both of these players are, that kind of stuff is going to matter a lot. So it is very important to make sure to get those minor optimizations in.
Yeah, that menu, you're just trying to basically press the least amount of buttons and get out of there. And the little optimization Minnie's talking about just reduces that an input by X amount of inputs. As we're going now to one of the trickiest, I'll say 2 back-to-back roll. First, you have the roll in Dramuchi. Is it? I forget the name of it, but it's after the boss takes away your weapons. You have that tricky roll, and then in Delina Vodno, you have another tricky roll. So let's see if both runners can nail those first try.
Yeah, they're going to do a very precise roll to distract some guards farther up along the path, so they stop in place. And then we're going to run to the right and go behind another guard, and you will see them cooking a grenade in their hand. And if you do that while you're walking, on certain surfaces, your footsteps will be completely silenced. Not all surfaces, just some. It just so happens that where we need it to work, it does work. So you can see Major did that right there, and Apache did as well. So they both got by that room. That's pretty tricky. And then again, they're going to do another very precise roll in Delino Vodno to land in between some trees, and then they're going to wait for just a second, and then they're going to move out and go onto the bridge. This is so that a guard who's kind of like in the way is going to turn his head and won't catch them as they're going through. And they both nailed it.
That
very
roll
nice.
Between the trees harder than they managed to make it look easy, but it took me a very long time to learn that roll, because it's very easy to you first roll too close to the guard and they hears you, and then you have to roll between the trees, and the trees hitboxes are so weird where when you're first trying to learn it, you're just going to run into the tree over and over again, and the guard just looks right at you.
Yeah, Delino Vodno is a lot harder than it looks, but it is something that you will get used to as you play more. So they're going to be picking up the cardboard box. This is essential to the run, but we will explain why later. For now, just know it's fast. Question,
this is a double elimination, and Apache already won the first game. So if Apache wins this one, he's declared the winner. If Major wins, they're going to do another match, and that'll determine the winner. Oh, it goes. So why don't you explain Ocelot unit for us, Minnie?
Yeah, so going into Ocelot unit, you're going to start off by buffering a right input, then going to doing your menu, equipping the Mark 22, and equipping the box. Then you're going to do a body shot on this first guard. Make sure it has to be a body shot. You cannot get a headshot on him. Then you're going to go through and aim for a headshot on this far away guard. Then move over here. There's another guard you're going to get a body shot on. Then you're going to roll over here and throw a stun grenade in between the door. Knock on the wall to get the guards to look in your direction. Run through. Kind of peek out into the side. Sniper's going to come headshot him. Roll over the ledge there. There's a guard way off to the left that we're going to get a headshot on. And you go down, turn around, and then there's a guard way off to the left side, and we're going to headshot him too. Wait for the 2 guys over near the gate to go down, and there it is. That's Ocelot unit. A lot going on in that. I hope that made sense.
You got all that? I hope everyone took notes.
Yeah, it's fast. What happens there is fast. And so Apache just finishing as well. He had a little bit of a struggle on the too far to the left guards. He missed one of the shots as I was explaining, so I couldn't point that out. But yeah, he made it through. So now they're just going to do a quick little swim through the swamp. Not really much going on here except for the fact that you want to kind of tap X at like a... I don't remember the exact BPM, but that'll give you the fastest swim speed. You don't want to actually mash it, because if you mash it, you won't be going as fast as you could be. There's like a rhythm to it.
Now runners are alternating X and circle. What I do at least.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to really worry about the X part. But yeah, to answer the chat's question, the reason Apache can win with just one win today is because he won the first match yesterday. He's already up 1-0. Major went to the losers bracket. He won that match, so he's back in. That's why Apache already has one game up on him. Major would need to win twice to claim victory today.
Yes.
This room is all about timing, the one that Major just started. So you want to roll under that first electric fence. He's going to shoot the wall. That'll make the dog bark, and it'll take away one of the guards that made the area Major's about to go to. Dog barked. One of the soldiers is going to come and check it out, but he can't just walk the electric fence. He's going to have to walk all the way around the map. That takes him out of the equation. Then he's going to use the box by the electric fence here. That'll get another guard's attention, and since the guards cannot come right to the fence, what they do is they just walk all the way around. As Major's having some trouble, he missed the first roll. So we'll just walk all the way around. He takes out a third guard. He just did that for safety. Missed the first roll. There's essentially 3 guards in that area that can spot you. And there's also a dog here that now Major's timing is just all off, and he takes a continue. Very costly.
Oh no. Yeah, it is very costly to take a continue here because of how big this room is. Yeah, that messed up roll really threw things out of whack for him.
I think he could have still just continued even though the roll got messed up. I don't think it's that tight timing where he could have just probably went through the second roll and got through, but you hate to take a continue here because now you have to go through the whole process again. And it starts
this room is huge.
There's some areas where taking a continue isn't that big of a deal since the area is so small. And you have other areas like this where it's so large that taking a continue, especially towards the end, could lose you up to like a minute in your run.
So Apache going into Ocelot. You're going to be doing a loop on Ocelot. We're going to go for a stun shot and then a stun grenade throw. And throw another. Turn around. Ocelot's going to get stunned. Then we're going to shoot the Markor that's right behind him. Then we're going to go for another headshot on Ocelot. And then he's going to notice that we shot the Markor and be distracted. Then his team will give him some support. And then Ocelot will be distracted and we can shoot him again.
Very nice.
So a lot of the boss fights, yeah, that was very clean. A lot of the boss fights in this game have loops that you can do to kind of keep them in place and prevent them from going around and doing kind of whatever they want. So we'll see how Major does his. The ground. So the
Markor. Another headshot. Boom. Another headshot that he could hit his hat, but right. It's clean so far, and almost he dodged behind the rock, but he should get him here. Yep. Yeah, maybe lost a few seconds on Apache there, but he got out of there.
Yeah, still got out of there. So very good. The loop did not drop for either runner, which is very critical because when Ocelot starts kind of like doing whatever he wants, things can get really scary really fast. So you do not want that to happen.
With Major is he dropped the loop, but it was at the end where he only needed one shot, really a body shot anywhere. That's why it's not a horrible thing to happen if you lose the loop right at the end, because then just one body shot anywhere will end the fight. The worst is when you drop the loop early at the beginning of the fight, then you miss a lot of easy headshots, and that's where it could go out of your hand. As Apache starts the pain fight. Minnie, take us through this pain.
Oh man, so I'm going to start off with a smoke grenade throw. That is to dispel the bees that the pain is going to try and send at us. And then we're going to go for headshots on him. The pain's hitbox on his head is actually not his entire head. It's from his chin to his nose. So you can't aim too high, you gotta aim a little bit lower. Get rid of the bee shield, and then we're going to keep pumping shots into him. And then at the start of Phase 2, we're going to do an HD Collection exclusive technique where when he does the bullet bees attack, we're just going to stay in first person. And for some reason, on the HD Collection, when you stay in first person, the bullet bees just don't hit you. We don't really know why. But a couple more headshots on him, and he's down.
Perfect.
Very nice from Apache.
Pain fight from Apache, making it harder on Major to make up ground. So now Major's going to have a perfect pain fight as well to keep up. Let's see, he gets through phase 1. Now phase 2, he's going to start off with a grenade to take away the bee shield. You don't want him to regain his shield of bees. You want to end the fight before you manage to do that. So let's see if Major can pull it off. Nice placed headshots, and 2 more should end it. Perfect fight for Major as well.
Very nice. So I mentioned earlier that the box is very important. As you can see on Apache's end, he is wearing the box while going up inclines. They gave Snake a slower animation when he walks up inclines in this game, but they did not give Snake an animation for that when he's wearing the box. So he actually moves at a faster speed when he's wearing a box and going up an incline than if you just walk up it normally. So that's one of the main reasons why the box is very important. There is something else that we'll be seeing later, a technique that you can use for taking out guards with it. Just remember that, because it'll be coming up a lot later with some of these more technical strats that you'll be seeing both runners going for.
El Paso, thank you for the Prime sub. Thank you for supporting Metal Gear Speedrunners. As Apache is swimming through this area, just sticking to the right side. This way the guys on the searchlights cannot detect him. He's going into the warehouse exterior, while Major just starts his swimming section. What Apache was going to do now is take a quick headshot on the first guard and blow up the 2 barrels on each side. This is very important in damaging the end, as well as taking care of all the guards. So now all the guards are either, one is asleep, the other ones are quote-unquote dead, even though it doesn't count as a kill. Barrels killed them. And he's going into warehouse 1. Take us through warehouse 1 once he gets there, Mini.
Yeah, so at the start of warehouse 1, you're going to be doing a very tricky roll over a fence, and we're going to try and angle it so that we can fall on the front side of these stacks of boxes. That's important for doing the proper movements. We'll see. Yep, Apache got it. Then we're going to do a bump roll into this guard, and equip the box and go up these stairs. And we're just going to do more bump rolls into all of these guards as we're on our way up. Bump into that last guy, roll over, and then get here, and we're out of there.
They done. As
That was very nice.
Beginning his warehouse. I wonder why Major grabs that smoke grenade side. I don't think he ever uses it.
I think you grab that if you're doing 1 HP Fury, I think. Or no, you skip it if you're doing 1 HP Fury. That's right, yeah, you skip that.
But the smoke grenade doesn't have to do anything with 1 HP Fury, though.
It's, I don't remember exactly why you go for that one right there, but...
Because we used to grab those in the run when we did the Rykov smoke grenade strat. Since we use up all our smokes in the end fight, we only have 1 left in our inventory, or 2 left in our inventory, and we use both of those against the end. Then you'll be all out. Usually you grab that last one when you try to get Rykov, but now the Rykov strat is a little different. We'll explain that when we get there. So I'll have to ask him later, but. See Apache putting on the scientist uniform to disguise himself. You know, just a guy with a bandana, the beard that looks nothing like the rest of the scientists, but they don't mind. You see the lab coat, and they don't question your authority.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a chill section in the run. You could do this without the scientist disguise on, but that is very, very difficult. And also pretty random to do the actual fastest strategies for. So in a race setting, it is highly unlikely we would see either one of them go for it.
Right. And it saves like, what, 1 or 2 seconds?
It's something like that. It's not a whole lot of time save, but it is a decent amount that at a very high level, if you're going for the record, you would need to do that.
Soldiers will not doesn't alert as long as you're in the lab coat, but other scientists can. That's why you never want to stare at a scientist for too long. That's why he goes into the box right away to kind of break out of their trance.
The scientists do not care about boxes.
Right.
They don't care about walking boxes.
As Apache goes back up to the first floor, while Zero just meets Brannon. They might have high-fived on the way.
Yeah, they did. So Apache doing the lab exit is going to put the animals camo on, which we got for defeating Ocelot non-lethally. The animals camo will make it so that regardless of your stamina level, you will not have any handshaking while you are aiming your gun in first person. And this is like very important for some of these later strategies that we have to do. So
yeah, one of the most overpowered camos in the speedrun, probably the most overpowered camo in the speedrun is the animals camo, because one, like Minnie said, it eliminates the whole need for the food, the stamina balance, since it just takes away the weapon sway that gets caused by your stamina being so low. That's why you'll never see anyone eat items in a speedrun. And two, camo is extremely lethal in the mountains. If you're laying prone, I think it's like 90% camo index.
Yeah, so it gives you a lot of camouflage there.
They have to be like within an arm's reach to even see you when you're laying prone, so very overpowered mechanics as Apache starts his Fury fight.
So he's going to use the fake death pill. And then he's going to activate it and throw a stun grenade, and then he's going to hit this, okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. So when the fear is stunned, or all damage done to him is converted into non-lethal damage. So we make him run into that log trap, and that kind of kills him really quickly.
Major Zero's in New Game Plus, so it's a little different strat at the end. Still, you take the fake death pill, throw the stun grenade.
Yeah.
But now you make use of the New Game Plus weapon, the Patriot, and just take him down, which he actually saved a few seconds over Apache with that strat. Apache,
yeah, that version of the strat saves about, I want to say, like 6 or 7 seconds over the normal strategy. So Apache doing a safer warehouse 2. We're probably going to see Major do the standard warehouse 2 that he usually does.
I think this is only one. I think there's only one runner has gotten past warehouse 2 on the first attempt in this whole tournament. Let's see if Major can be the second, and he did it nicely. So he makes up a little more time.
And he is the second. Very nice.
Makes up a little more time with the Fury fight. Makes up a little more time up here. Trying to chip away at those seconds as Apache is on to the area right before the end fight. So very precise movements in this area from Apache. You don't want to get caught in any of the trees or anything. It's very easy for Snake to get caught up in one of those. So he's going to roll into this guard, take him out of the equation, get a distraction shot, put the smoke grenade so he doesn't hear his footsteps. Into the box to evade one of the guards up ahead from their vision. Then he's just going to... There's one more guard he has to worry about towards the end. I think he's going to do a bump roll into him.
Yeah, bump roll to get through him. Very nice.
There's the same thing. So you can either cook a grenade or you could do this roll Major does. Just out of the area where he'll hear your footsteps. With the end fight, Apache's going to start with 3 shots. This Mark 22, very precise shots from very far away. He gets good high damage on him.
That's good damage.
Now he's going to run to the specific area by this tree. So this is all done to manipulate the end spawn location. You want him to spawn after you shoot him 3 times. He's going to run away from his first spawn area. he's going to do is manipulate him to go to a specific location where he can finish the fight the fastest. So he throws a smoke grenade there, makes some noise, runs towards where he threw the smoke grenade. He's going to cook up a stun grenade and throw it right at the end, and that'll damage him for more stamina damage. Then get right behind him. He's going to do 2 jabs. Spray that'll hit him twice. 2 jabs, hold him up. Then as he's held up, I go with 6 spray again into the stun grenade. Make sure the stun grenade hits him in the body. It does. Look up so you don't get stunned yourself as well. 6 spray more. Now a smoke grenade into the body. Make sure that hits his body. And then as the smoke grenade starts to go off, you don't go too fast here. See how Apache's letting himself cough a few times? That's so Snake doesn't cough later. You want to kind of buffer your coughing. And then he gets him twice. Very nice fight from Apache. The Major is also in the middle of his loop. 6 spray. Now he's going into the area here to try to catch him. Hit him with the smoke.
Wow, this is very close. Very clean for both of them.
Very nice.
You can see how Major doing the Fast Warehouse 2 and doing the New Game Plus version of the Fear, and also just playing well in these areas. He's slowly catching up. They're only like barely a room apart at this point. So this is still anyone's game, especially going into Mountains, because Mountains is pretty difficult. There's 3 very tricky rooms all in a row. And then right after that, you go into arguably the most random and difficult boss fight in the run, the Fury.
I'm gonna say the Fury is the most difficult boss fight. To me, the end is the more scary boss fight. I'll tell you why. Because so many things can go wrong in the end, where you lose much more time. With the Fury, you can die, and yes, it's difficult boss fight. There's a lot of RNG. But if you die, it's a quick reset, and you start the fight right away, and the fight can end quickly. At the end, so many things can go wrong. Like for me, he didn't spawn at his location, or if he tranquilizes you and you lose all your stamina, like that's probably the worst case scenario. Well, guess what? Your run is pretty much dead. You're gonna start all the way back in the lab. So yeah, Fury is difficult, and it's a lot of RNG. In the end is the much more scary fight in a no reset run. They're both climbing this ladder. So as Minnie was saying, the areas coming up, the 3 areas, mountains, not only are they difficult, but they're also the areas where we mentioned that it's gonna take it's one of the bigger areas in the game. So if you have a, what do you call it? You have a continue towards the end of one of the areas. Since the area is so massive, that it can set you back quite a bit if you have to start the area over and over again.
That's the big problem with all the Mountains rooms, is they're all very, very large and go on for quite a while. So taking one continue, like pretty much anywhere in Mountains 1, 2, or 3, is a bunch of time lost because of how big the room is and how much you have to redo once you get that continue.
Apache starts Mountain 1 here, so he's going to go use the box to move a little faster up the little uphill. Use the 6 spray on this guard. Precise roll here. There's a guard to the right that if you're too close to the right, he will see you, so you evades that. More up the hills. Takes out this last guard with a 6 spray. Switches over to his Mark 22. And he's out of Mountains 1 while Major is kind of doing the same thing. He's looking down. This is to reduce lag in the game, which I will explain what lag does to the game probably towards the end with the bike chase. But the more lag you reduce in this game, the better your time. You're going up with a quick box headshot there. Pulls up the little inclines. There is another guard he has to worry about, so he's going to do the staggered 1911 shots, and then his last roll will knock him down. It does not count as a kill. long as you don't shoot him too many times and kill him. The other guard he has to take care of is here, so he's going to roll right into him after putting a Trink in his body first. That instantly knocks him out. He puts on his M1911. He's going to need to blow up these barrels. He's going to let these two guards get pretty close to the exploding barrels here, and then shoot that barrel. Kills both of them instantly. And he's got one more guard to take care of. It's a headshot on him, and he's out of there. Major is kind of doing the same thing, letting get close to the barrels, shoots both of them. He's going to grab the RPG, I believe, here. He doesn't have to later, or there it is. You can menu it all at once. Personal preference, I don't think it loses that much time either way. So Apache going into Mountains 3, doing the caution strat where he shoots his gun. So many enemies that can see you in Mountains 3, that's ridiculous. And he is out of Mountains 3. Very nice.
Very nice.
As Major doing the no caution variation strat. I believe the no caution might be a little bit faster. Not by much. As Major... Ooh, that is... The no caution strat, you have to be so much more precise. But he gets out of there as well. So, to see... both runners go to Mountains 1, 2, and 3 without a single hiccup.
So one thing to note is that Apache is doing one-hit Fury, so he did not cure the poison from the Fear, which means that if he gets hit at any point during the Fury, he will die instantly. So he has to play the Fury very carefully, or at least hope for an absolutely perfect Fury. Otherwise, like I said, he is one hit from dead. So he needs to be very careful.
So outside of the Fury attacking you with his flamethrower, there are random fires around the floor. You cannot even Apache can't even afford to do those either. So Major can get hit by the fire, especially the ones on the ground. He can take a few hits. Apache cannot take any hits at all. Instant. Well, if he does. Get your predictions ready, each runner.
Because the Fury can definitely wall players. Very scary fight.
Alright, so Apache, looking. He gets the right look at the middle spawn, one of the worst spawns.
Yeah, that one's
little
really
improvisations
bad.
Now. Hate that one. Major gets one to his left, so he's gonna try to
where
he could make up some time and he's dead. Yeah. I mean he just got a horrible spawn right in the middle. That's the one you hate to see. Major looking to get a loop. He already put 3 Trinks in him, so now he's going to put 3 more, and then bait out another attack from the Fury, excuse me.
Wow,
he's got to be
perfect
careful.
Fury from Major.
Very nice, and that's just how it goes with the Fury. Oh, Apache knocked him down. If he would have waited a little more, he could have staggered him. If you shoot him too fast, the 3rd shot will knock him down instead. He got out of there. 2nd try, not bad. Could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah, Apache reacted because he heard that the Fury was getting ready to fly away, so he thought he could get one shot in time just before before the game would register 3 shots in a row, and then the Fury would knock down. But he was too early, so unfortunately, he had to wait for the Fury to fly around a bit. But yeah, that's what can happen in this run, especially when you go for 1 HP Fury, because earlier, if he hadn't been going for 1 HP Fury, he actually could have survived that hit on his first attempt, and he would not have died from that.
Right. That's the risk you take when you do the 1 HP Fury. As Major, I don't think is going for the quote-unquote, what used to be the multi-segment strat. I think he's going with the old... That's why he grabbed the smoke grenade. That makes sense.
Yeah, going for the old strat here.
Grenade I was talking about in the docks. Right, this is much safer to do. He gets caught a little bit, but that should be fine.
Yeah, it's all good.
To him. Yep. Now Apache could make up a few seconds here if he can get the multi-segment Rykov strat down. He's going to shoot this guard in the leg. This causes Rykov to go into a caution as well. So he starts running into the lab here. He's going to shoot the wall here, makes him run backwards a little. put another bullet in him, makes him run more forward, CQC slam, and then just drag him to the end. So, very nice.
Very nice. Yeah, that one is a lot faster than the method that Major did, but Major is quite a bit ahead from not having to take a continue on the Fury. So they are both very close going into Torture. So this is still anyone's race. There is still a lot that can go wrong for both runners in these later sections. So
correct.
Can't call it yet, folks.
Still too early to call, but you see, so just while they're going through this torture section, you can't really do anything. You just have to let the cutscene play out. But let's just walk over what has happened in the run so far. So Major got his first continue in a very costly area before the Ocelot fight. I forget the name of it.
Yeah, it happened in Bolshaya Pass South.
With the electrifying fence.
Yep.
That's where it was. And then he made up a little time here and there, chipping away. He got the Fear New Game Plus strat, made up a few seconds. He got the Warehouse 2 first try, made up a few seconds there. And then you saw what happened with the Fury, where Apache got to continue, and then he also, got the loop got away from him on a second try, and then chased him down a little, but he got it eventually. Where Major, on the other hand, got the loop first try. So that's where we are now, where you see the gap in this run.
Yeah, Major going for slightly faster strategies in some rooms along the way gave him a little bit of an edge, so that when he actually got to the Fury and was able to execute it first try, he was even further ahead from Apache, irregardless of the continue that Apache made. So yeah, it really goes to show how your optimizations in each room really add up over the course of the entire run. So there's still, again, a lot that can go wrong in the future. We've got we got the Volgan fight, we got the Shagohod, we got all the bike chase, and then we have the boss. So there's still a lot that can happen. So this is still anyone's race.
But not for long.
Don't sleep on Prison Escape. It's not a given that, especially with the smoke grenade throw. I've seen both runners struggle with that.
What is your
I think Apache got one, and Major got to continue as well, throughout the tournament on there. So really, I mean, there's a bunch of rooms coming up where it's pretty easy to mess up, even for a second. And I'm gonna go and say that MGS3 Euro Extreme might be the best format for a race, just because there's so many areas where you can swing. Since MGS3 European Extreme is game over if discovered, just a slight mistake can cause you a reset in any room. When you compare other games like MGS2 European Extreme, there isn't that game over if discovered. So even if you do get caught somewhere, you could try to make it up. The rooms are much smaller in MGS2 as well, where if you do mess up every now and then, you could take a quick continue. You won't lose too much time. But MGS3 has such a wide range of rooms and areas where you can lose so much time, and the gap can either shrink or extend. So, you do this Prison Escape where you grab the full quick, hit the rat, knock out Johnny here, smoke grenades from him, and then escape. So explain this area. What's going on in this next area, Mini?
Yes, we're going to do a very quick item throw to distract a guard to the south, and then we're going to use the silencing footsteps trick you mentioned earlier to sneak past that guy, and then crawl through that little vent right there to get out of there. And then in this room, there's nothing really going on here. There are some guards, but we're just going to take a line to the very south of this area, and they'll never catch us. They'll see us, but we'll be gone by the time they even get anywhere close to us. This last room, however, is where things get a little tricky. We have to do a somewhat precise smoke grenade throw to envelop one guard in smoke and then cause another guard's vision of us to be obscured via smoke. So, pretty sure that looks good.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good throw.
Yeah, he's gonna throw a second one right there to distract this dog so that the dog doesn't alert the other soldiers. And then crawl through here and right into the sewers. Very nice from Major. We'll see how Apache handles this room.
Very easy to mess up one of those smoke grenade throws. Both have to be pretty precise. As Apache gets started with his, let's see what's going on. Goes a little to the left, but that should be fine.
Yeah, he should be good.
And cooks
yep,
the other
there he goes.
grenade, throws to the dog. Why do they have a cigar? Why does Major have a cigar equipped?
Yeah, so during the upcoming boss fight, the Sorrow, the goal is to bring your HP all the way down to 0 as fast as possible, which will let you use the revival pill to basically wake up from the dream that we're in. And the way to do that is we want our health to be as low as possible so that basically we can die faster. Apache did not pick up the RPG earlier, so what he's going to do for his menu is he is going to equip a grenade and throw it at the ground. But Major did, so Major, when he gets in the fight, he's going to equip the RPG, and he's going to shoot it directly at the ground. The RPG in this section is, I think, about a second or so faster than the grenade method, because you have to wait for the grenade to actually go off, whereas the RPG will explode instantly upon hitting the ground. Since we are using the load remover, this is all of this actually matters. Normally, right now, the game is timed using in-game time, and this fight does not actually count for in-game time. Once the load remover is more, fully finalized in its functionality, we're hoping it will become the norm for timing this game, but for now we use the IGT. But yeah, in a race setting like this, your real time without loads does matter, which means you have to end that fight as fast as possible.
Major is out of there, and as Apache is going to start his dream sequence with the, he's going to do the, as Minnie was mentioning, so he has to throw the grenade right at his feet, wait for it to go off, that'll kill him, then it'll, the opportunity to use the revival pill, pick himself up. As Major does that roll he always does, so that's a few, maybe a couple seconds. He's gonna extend the lead on Apache. I don't think Apache goes for that roll. Very high risk, low reward roll, I should say.
Yeah, the log roll, depending on how early you go for it, saves about roughly 2 to 3 seconds. Failing it, however, is about a 20-second time loss or something. It's quite huge for your reward, so it's very risky. Right. Apache doesn't go for it at all. He always just walks along the top and then goes off to the side. But at a very, very high level play, every single second matters. So maybe doing those little minor optimizations that Major has been doing throughout these areas is adding up to his lead. He is getting further and further ahead.
Now Major is going to pick up the cardboard box B. It's very, it'll come in handy in a little bit. Very important to grab this here, and then he's going to do his menu later, but not now.
Yeah, so the reason you picked up the RPG earlier was 1, for the Sorrow fight, and 2, at the start of Bike Chase, if you don't pick up the RPG early, you have to put it in your inventory. But with this route that he's doing, we're grabbing the RPG early, we already have it, so we can just put it in our inventory right away. And only the finest at Groznygrad.
So now Major's getting one guard's attention with the box, so he's going to go all the way around to investigate what that box was. Shoot this guard in the head. This makes this other guard, he cares about his buddy more than he cares about the box. That's the kind of soldiers that I want to be shoulder to shoulder with. You care about your well-being instead of some random box in the corner. So then the box is used here to transfer himself straight into the what do you call this? The weapons lab, instead of having to walk through all the wings, all over again.
So Major's going to shoot the wall. That is going to cause a scientist to get alerted. And when the scientist gets alerted, every single guard in the room just kind of books it. They go somewhere. It doesn't really matter where they go, because wherever they go, it's out of our way, and we can just run around and place all the C3 at the fuel tanks. You'll see Apache do a similar thing, but he's going to actually shoot the fuel tank. This does the same thing regardless. It actually doesn't matter which one you do. So, we're going into Volgan 1. Do you want to explain this one, Sparty?
Sure, Minnie. I'll explain this one. So, Volgan,
Sweet.
you're just going to want to kill him with the SVD. Now, this won't count as a kill just because Volgan won't necessarily die here. He'll come back later in the game. You want to whip out the SVD after you do a little CQC to kind of halt him, trip him on the ground, put on the SVD. You want to shoot him once. This will stagger him, and then a bunch of more shots in his back. And then while he's charging up, you shoot him in the back a little more to get through the first phase. And then the second phase, you just want to time your SVD shots to not coincide with his iframes. That's why you'll see Major kind of buffer his shots here. Let the iframes go away, and then shoot him some more. And that's the fight. Perfectly executed.
Very nice for Major, and we will see how Apache handles it, because he's going to the exact same fight. They're both going to do the same strategy for this fight, because that is the fastest. You can do it non-lethally, but it is a little bit slower, so we won't be seeing that from either of them.
So this is now Apache's turn to do the same thing. He's going to put a bullet in him to stagger him, get a few shots in while he's getting up, and then once he gets up, just go right behind him. That's phase 1. And then phase 2, the same ideal. You just want to shoot him while his iframes are not kicked in yet. So that's why you'll see Apache takes out his shot at the eye. There. The iframes, nice. What I look for is just if he has his hands crossed in front of him, you cannot do when he.
Yeah.
What I do is I just wait until his hands down, then start shooting.
So this is the bike chase. You're going to notice both players looking either up at the sky or down at the ground pretty frequently. This is to reduce lag. This area lags really hard at all times, pretty much. So we want to be avoiding looking at anything going on, really. So one thing worth mentioning is the way that this game handles the frame rate. So rather than doing frame skipping if it does encounter lag, what the game actually does is it has to display every single frame. So when lag occurs, there's nothing to speed up the process. You have to let every single frame be displayed. So this is why lag reduction is so key for saving time here, because we do not want at all to have that lag, because that will slow our time down quite a lot. So it's very important to be looking away from big laggy things at all times during this section.
Lag equals bad in this game.
Yes.
That's what I got, and you try to reduce that as much as possible anywhere you can, as both runners are just RPGing guards to get them out of the way, and then looking up to reduce lag. And the other thing you want to do in this area is damage the Shagohod as much as you can, as his health carries over to each section. The more you damage him now, the less you will have to do later on.
Yeah, so the Shagohod has a damage cap that you can do during these sections before the fight actually starts. The damage cap is about roughly 33% of its HP. It's actually the same on all difficulties. It's just the higher difficulties, the Shagohod has more defense. So you have to do more rocket shots to hit the damage cap on European Extreme. So you're going to see them try in the runway section coming up to get very high damage on the Shagohod, and ideally get it near the damage cap. It is possible, and you will probably see both runners get fairly close.
Major is out of the, let's say, the harder areas of bike chase, even though with the RPG it's much easier. Getting close to getting out of there, excuse me. starting the last section of the chase in the lab, and they'll go on to the runway next.
Yep.
Major just looking up, and now he's on the runway.
Introducing lag. So here, Major is going to take out the gunners on these bikes over here. The gunners are pretty accurate with their shots, and they're going to be shooting at us the whole time unless we get rid of them. The drivers, however, are not very accurate. So the goal is to get rid of all the gunners so that the drivers will try and shoot, and they usually miss, so they're not much of a concern. And this will let Major just look up at the sky and focus on reducing lag rather than having to deal with these guards.
I think the drivers, so they have to focus on driving as well as shooting, so they don't shoot as often. And I think they also have pistols compared to the
they have pistols.
Passengers.
Yeah, the passengers have the gunners have like submachine guns, and the drivers just have a handgun.
Right, and only 4 motorcycles can spawn at a time. So if you take out 4 passengers, then you just don't have to worry about anything at all of more spawning. So you just continue to look up and forget about it. It's the same thing will happen towards like the last area of bike chase, where it's going to be the same thing as the runway. Only 4 motorcycles can spawn at once. You want to take care of the passengers and then leave the drivers, because they don't do much damage to you. Major is now coming up on the area right before the Shagohod fight. So this is your last chance to damage the Shagohod before the fight actually starts. He's gonna try to space out his shots and get as much damage as he can here.
Yeah, the other goal is to make sure he does not hit the treads. If you hit the treads, that will cause the Shagohod to kind of like lose some speed and then fall back behind and have to catch up. If that happens, you really can't do damage to the Shagohod when it's too far away. So the goal is to keep it really close and constantly pummel it with rockets, and try to make sure you don't hit the treads so that it doesn't lose its speed. Because we want to do as much damage as we possibly can before the fight starts. The Major is getting very good damage. I think he's actually close. Okay, yeah, he got. I think he either just hit the damage cap right at the very end or got really close to it. But yeah, that's the extent of the damage that you can do to the Shagohod before the fight starts. It is quite a lot.
4 C3 charges. More to the right. Shoot. 3 more bombs left. Right. 2 more left. Only 1 more left.
Oh wow, Major going for the style shots on all of those C3.
Keep your aim steady.
So why did do you want to explain the Shagohod loop that Major is going to be going for, Sparty? Because this Shagohod loop is very, very complicated. There's a sort of timing they're waiting for before they shoot the rocket. And then after that, they're going to go behind the Shagohod and hit the weak point. And then they're going to fire at the weak point and then fire at the treads. And this will kind of keep the Shagohod from moving and Eva from driving around. Oh no, Eva broke out of it. That is very unfortunate. So this is where things can change, because the Shagohod, when you lose the loop, is very random and can just kind of do whatever he wants. And we can see Eva driving the absolute wrong way to get behind the Shagohod. Major is getting a couple of those shots in the side. You can see. We'll see how Apache handles it. He is going into the fight, and he is going to try and go for the loop. Apache did not get as high of damage as Major did, so Apache getting the loop, nailing the loop, is going to be very beneficial for him. And if he does happen to lose the loop, then it is possible that he can lose a ton of time here on Major. Major already lost a bit of time from not getting it, but he did execute pretty well for a fairly random Shagohod fight. And so at the start here, you're going to do a shot on the treads, and then shoot Volgan in the head with the SVD. If you defeat him with the SVD, it's 3 shots. If you do it with the Mosin, it's 4. And there we go. Major is out of Shagohod 2. Very nice. Apache here. I think he lost the loop a bit earlier, but he's managing to rein it in just a little bit. I think he kind of has gotten the Shagohod... Oh no, unfortunately the Shagohod broke out. So yeah, what can happen in this fight is the Shagohod can just really do whatever it wants and give you a massive run for your money, which is very unfortunate. So we see Apache here struggling to try and get those shots. Meanwhile, Major, over in the last section of Bike Chase, is trying to do as much lag reduction as he can by looking up at the sky for the most part, and avoiding all the lag from this section, which is very key and is going to add up the time save that he's going to get. So Apache is also going to be the same thing, the lethal Volgan fight. This is a couple seconds faster than non-lethal, because again, like I mentioned, you only are doing 3 shots to Volgan as opposed to 4. If you were using the Mosin Nagant and going non-lethally, you would have to do 4 shots on Volgan, but again, lethal strategies here, so only 3. And Apache going into Bike Chase, he's also going to do a similar thing where he is going to take out as many guards as he can, and then he is going to try and spend as much time as he can without taking too much damage, looking up at the sky to reduce lag.
It's an ambush.
They're not going anywhere. They're over here.
So right before this screen of the Bike Chase ends, there's going to be a guard that we have to take out. You see Major coming up on it. This is an RPG guard. The main, like the scariest part of this guy isn't the fact that he's got an RPG and that his shots can do a good amount of damage to you. The actual concern is that if he does hit you, the game will basically drop to like single-digit FPS. That guard causes a ton of lag if he hits you. So the goal is to get rid of him and prevent him from getting a shot off as quick as you can. And here in the hover platform guard room, you can see Major is going to try and get rid of these guys as soon as he can. The main reason is because these guys are pretty annoying. Sometimes they will just park above your head and just sit there and do a bunch of damage, and there's not much you can do about them. So the goal is to try and get rid of them as soon as possible before they get anywhere close to you.
Yeah, this area is pretty annoying, even if especially if you're trying to go for Foxhound rank. This area can be a run killer just because the middle guard is usually the one that gives the most trouble. It always kind of hovers over you. Sometimes it catches you on fire, taking more damage than you really need to. Both these runners using the SVD, looking up as much as they can to reduce that lag.
And lag reduction is very important in this section to save, because if you do it all throughout the entirety of Bike Chase, the time that you save from it isn't small. We're talking like around 10-ish seconds, and that may not seem like a whole lot, but in a run as tight as MGS3 European Extreme, 10 seconds is a lot of time. If someone can being able to save 10 seconds just from doing some doing lag reduction is quite crazy. So Major here on the last room. Oh, who was it?
I was gonna say El Paso. No one has gotten Foxhound rank yet. I had no continues, but I killed 2 people, I believe. But both these runners so far have 1 continue. They killed, or once they got caught at the Chaya, where was it? I mean, it was the fence area.
Yeah, Major got caught in Bolshaya Pass South, and Apache took, I think, 1 or 2 continues on the Fury.
It was 1.
It was 1, okay.
Each runner.
Apache's health is very low. He is equipping the life med to be safe. These platform guards have been bullying him pretty hard. He should be fine. Oh, that health is so low. Oh my god. Wow, his health is really low.
Alright, he did have to use the life med. That's why you grab the life med in a run, especially a race, because stuff like that can happen in that area. You want to have that life med as a backup in case things don't go your way. You don't want to take a continue there without a life med.
Yes, you do not want to take a continue anywhere in Bike Chase. The time loss is massive. So, Major, finishing up the Bike Chase, the final screen of Bike Chase, there really isn't much to talk about. The guards are usually pretty far away from you and can't really do much to you. They spend most of their time, like, unable to hit you. So, it's really not much of a concern. And we got Major going into the EVA escort. So, do you want to explain the first screen of the escort section, Sparty?
So, the first screen... feed Eva. This is so she can have enough stamina to just go all the way to the end of the game. So you're gonna have to feed her once, whether you want to feed her now or you want to feed her in the middle. But you do it now just because you're in the menu anyway, so you might as well. And then the second thing you want to do is cure Eva. You just want to take care of both cuts. You don't have to cure Snake. It's just cured on their own, or you can continue the game without curing Snake, but you must cure Eva. Continue.
So yeah, they don't need to bring Eva all the way to that grass because she will just teleport right when the guards appear. And as long as you just keep moving forward, they'll never catch you. So this first room is not much to worry about. The only thing to worry about, kind of, is sometimes Eva will take some strange lines, which will lose you some time. But as far as, like, massive time loss, there really isn't much of anything that can go massively wrong in this area.
Alright, as long as you keep moving, like Mini said, you're not really in much danger. Just keep going forward. The guards chasing you are just a little too slow to see you. Usually the second area after this, it gets a little trickier. But Apache's going through his menu, feeding Eva with the noodles. That'll give her enough stamina to just finish out the run. He's gonna take care of the two cuts and continue on. As he rolls into Eva as well, knocking her down.
Yeah, she can't take any damage in this first section, as Apache likes to always show off.
Take us through this last area before the boss fight, Mini.
Yes, this is the last room with guards. This is very important to get these guys out of the way. So we're going to deal with these first few guys. You know, they are in caution, which means if they do slightly spot us, it is instantly going to be a continue. But luckily, guards in caution actually have a little bit of a tunnel vision. They aren't as aware of their surroundings, and they're not turning their head like they normally will on patrol. By the way, this tree hitbox is kind of bizarre with this wall. Trees are not... Their hitboxes are not tree-shaped, they're kind of more like big squares. And so it lining up with that like cliff wall just kind of messes things up, and you can shoot through it and hit them, but they can't see you.
And the way the trees as well as like the hills that are slanted work, it's kind of like even though Snake can see them on top of the hill that's sticking out, the enemies usually cannot see Snake. So I use that a lot, especially when I was doing the normal casual playthroughs. You use that to your advantage a lot to peek around corners. An advantage where Snake has a clear line of sight on the enemy. The enemy can't really see.
Yeah. So Major's sniping those two guards over here in this final section. Apache also entering the last screen with guards. So we'll see how he does it. And Major's going into the final boss, aka the boss. There's going to be another loop for this fight, as per usual. There is a loop to keep the boss in place and prevent her from doing very bad things. So we'll explain that when we get into it. Major's going to start off the fight by countering her CQC. And then he's going to do 2 Mosin Nagant shots, followed by a CQC slam. And he's going to throw a stun grenade up at the sky to stun her as she's standing up. he's going to delay just a little bit before he does another 2 headshots and then another slam. And he's going to repeat that until he can't keep it going anymore. And then at that point, he's going to run away, and that will trigger the boss to attempt to do another CQC attack on him. And he's just going to counter that and then do the last sections of the loop, and the boss should be defeated. So again, final thing, he's going to shoot her, and then he's going to run back. It's going to trigger her to go for a CQC attack, counter. 2 headshots and a slam. And that's GG for Major.
Very nice, clean boss fight for Major. So, Major, that was a time of, what was it, like 104.53 RTA. Oh, as Alexa wants to talk to me. You caught that, but
It's our only.
Very nice, Major. So we got Apache going into the boss. He's going to go for the exact same thing, going to counter her CQC. And then he's going to do the 2 headshots, followed by the slam and the stun grenade throw. The boss loop is not too difficult. It is possible to mess it up. Things can go wrong, as per usual. But as long as you are patient and aren't trying to rush things, usually it is fairly consistent. So we can see Apache going for it. If he gets it, the boss has been giving a lot of runners in this tournament some trouble, and they're normally not used to it. So Apache running back. Counter the CQC, very nice. 2 headshots, slam. Oh, okay, there we go. GG from Apache. Oh, just bad damage, slightly bad damage rolls, but he was able to nail it.
Go with the review to look at the times without loads. But it looks like Major has won, but we'll do the review backstage, get you a official score, but we might have to go to a final match. As GG's to both runners. We're going to go ahead and take a little small intermission, and we will get back. Stay tuned. Unless they want to join us. We can go ahead and ask both runners if they'd like to join us.
Hey guys.
Hello, Major.
GG's. What happened?
GG's Apache.
South.
So, what happened is I rolled into the fence and I didn't actually make it through. I was turboing X and it failed me. Literally the first time that's ever happened. But,
very
unfortunate.
You used
turbo on that roll.
Yeah, I always turbo that roll. First time it's ever failed me.
I think you still would have had time to just continue, but then I don't know.
Well, yeah, the thing is, I thought the dog at the end was going to see me if I had gone like that. So I tried to take a different line, but it ended up just seeing me anyway. Maybe I could have made it out without doing anything weird, but hey, I mean, it happens like that sometimes.
Right. Those after that, I mean, your run was pretty clean. Made up a few time with the fear. Again, plus strat made up time in Warehouse 2 because Apache used a much safer Warehouse 2 variation.
I saw that. He did
a safer one.
It loses about 9 seconds. Neither of us had the Shadowhod loop, and I know we took a continue on the Fury, and I think we each only took 1 continue.
Correct.
Yeah, both took continue.
He kind of got away from him, and then his second attempt got away from him a little bit too, but he was able to finish it while you got the
very clean Fury. Yeah,
very clean. First time I've had a clean Fury in this entire tournament. I'm so thankful for that. That made this race genuinely.
Right. So put up the gap, and then your end game was just amazing. Didn't give Apache any room to close that gap. So GG's.
Yeah, I'm good at playing area denial. If I'm going to acknowledge one of my strengths, it's definitely area denial.
Yeah, I was very surprised to see Apache go for safer Warehouse too.
First continue. 'Cause sometimes with me, like once I get that first continue, I start to play a little more lax,
Howdy.
not bother you. You'd play the same no matter what.
Hey, Apache. No,
What's
that
up?
didn't really change my gameplay style at all. I kind of just run my own race, and what happens, happens.
Well, we should continue.
Bolshaya passed south.
Oh
I
my god.
missed the roll through the fence because I turboed it, and Snake just didn't go through the fence. First time that's ever happened.
The continue
Jeez,
came
rip.
like at the end when he was by the dog.
Right at the end, literally at the end of the room. I lost like 30 seconds with that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I knew I had a gap going in like from like torture, and then it just kept growing. I was like, holy crap, I can't
Yeah.
keep up with this guy. I need to
What happened in your end
actually.
game?
I
Did
just
anything
need
go
to learn
wrong?
I just need to learn how to play it properly. I guess. I think like everyone's been focusing on optimizing the early stages of the game, and there's just so much time to be saved in the late game that only you're doing. But you know, always more to learn and all that. I need a
Yeah.
quick drink and that, and then we'll play again.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely need a few to cool down.
That's the first time I've ever lost a
me
race, by the way. I'm now 9-1.
Haven't made it to the double digits. Yes, I
Yeah.
ended this. I ended the score streak. Let's go.
I mean, the pressure's off in that respect. It's horrendous. Like every time you go into a race, you're like, oh my god, I can't lose the unbeatable streak and all that. But yeah, we'll go again after the IGT screen. I just need a few minutes. But yeah, GG man, you played really well.
Thank you. You did too, dude. We honestly we both played really well. I think we're both gonna have sweet times here.
Yeah,
very
that
interested to see
was
my
it was very, very good play from the both of you. Like the mistakes were minimal for the most. There was like
Five
some big
people watched
ones,
the
but in
tournament.
general,
One game.
it's very minimal.
One
When-
death to decide.
Very clean.
When I knocked the end off, I literally always run to the left, and then for some reason, I just decided to run to the right, and it was so dumb
Yeah.
because he always lands there if he gets knocked off at the start. But yeah, I mean, I've
Also gave you, like,
had nothing but good Furies the whole tournament. It's about time I got like a bad one.
Right, and it's the exact opposite is true for me. I've had nothing but bad Fury, so it's about time I got a good one.
Yeah, true. Did you get the Shagohod loop?
No, I missed it. I missed it about halfway through, maybe even a little less. I saw
Yeah,
you. Didn't
I
get
think
it.
I had the same. He just abandoned it. He was just like, no, I'm not. It was like the loop was fine, and then he was just like, no, actually, no,
No.
I'm just going to turn around now.
My problem was Eva. She just drove off. She just turned around and said, "Nah, I don't feel like keeping the loop today."
Yeah,
It put me
Eva
off so
can be a
much
bit
that I was just
annoying.
like, my Volgan 2 was horrendous just because it bothered me so much. But yeah, it was a good race, man, and yeah, I'm good to do it again. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
get some water and stuff, so I'll be back really soon.
All right, see you soon. I think this is going to be a 116 for me, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy
Wow.
in a race. As credits, is there any difference in time for credits Japanese versus English?
Not in the credits, but there is for the speech. After
Yeah,
the
Ocelot
Ocelot
Speech is like
Speech.
7 seconds longer in Japanese.
It's kind of weird how it just perfectly works out. The credits line up in both languages.
Yeah, I think if you look at the difference between the JP and English version, they actually lengthen one of them to make it the same. I think that they are like artificially lengthened. Like specifically the Konami logo at the end where it says produced by Konami Entertainment or whatever. I think there's a bigger gap on one of the versions. I don't remember which.
They had speedrunners in mind when they created these credits in MGS3.
And then they forgot about
Could be
Ocelot
wrong.
Speech.
Like, damn, who's the team working on the speech? Ball
Right.
over here.
Clearly it was the Twin Snakes team.
As we are going to go to in-game timer at the end to see Major's time. We're going to have a sudden death match, so the next match, winner will take all. What I was hoping for, I didn't really care who won or lost, but I kind of wanted to see final match.
I'm super excited to have a final match with Apache. This is really a grudge match if there ever was one. It's right now it's sudden death. Whoever loses this is out. And the winner takes the crown.
Yep. So Apache won the first game yesterday. Major pulls it back. Second game today. So we're going to go to a sudden death match. Rubber match. What is a rubber match? Someone tell me what a rubber match is. It's like a baseball term, right? It's like you play back-to-back on the same day. Can't remember. Or is one? Heard it in baseball. Really a huge boxing guy. I guess that's the difference, between the baseball rubber match versus the boxing rubber match. Anyway, we get to the Ocelot speech for Major. It's a pretty lengthy speech when you compare it. Well, in 2, you can just skip the at the end, but in 3 and 4, they want you to listen to the whole thing every time you want to check your GT.
Yeah, I wish you could skip it. It's about 3 minutes long. It'd be pretty sizable. Same with credits.
Yeah. Credits I could understand, put everyone, but at least make the to the end skippable. A lot of games now, modern games, either skip the credits or they let you kind of like play in the background while the credits roll.
Oh yeah, and I've even seen some games with like fast forward buttons on the credits.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
Cyberpunk did that, I think.
Yeah, so games are changing it up a little bit instead of you just sitting down watching credits without a skip button or any.
I really like Death Stranding's fake out credits where you were running around.
Oh, where the credits, credits start rolling and then you're running around and then in control. Zip through credits. I'd like to see that. Hey, what's up, Grandfather's Clock? Japanese credits on the left. Never get used to the Japanese voice acting. Sounds so top. That's the cultural difference. Everything is like exaggerated a little more. See the sound effects, grunts, and.
Hey, Sparty, your mic's cutting out every now and then. Can you put it a little closer to your mouth, maybe?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, let me test. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, Appel, you heard Platonic Guy. Make it happen.
All right, boys, the IGT is coming. Let's see what it was. Just kissing a 116. I love it.
Jeez.
That is 42 seconds off of record. And almost all of that will have come from Bolshaya Pass itself. And of course, the rest comes from Shagohod. Otherwise, that was a very, very, very good run, in fact.
GG. Very love to see that, especially during a race. Take that any day. Zero, thank you for gifting a sub to Appel. Appreciate it. Supporting Metal Gear speedrunners. You get to see Apaches.
Yeah, we'll take a look at my IGT. It wouldn't be too good because I cooked the camo at the end.
True.
For a little. I mean, the races are to when we kill the boss, so Major definitely had me there. He won by about 50 seconds ish. Really good time though. I'll drop back after the IGT and we'll get going again.
Yeah, I want to take just a 2-minute break after that. I want to see your score and then I'm just going to get some water.
Yeah, it works for me, mate. Yeah, I messaged Major after the match yesterday and said we both have to play better tomorrow because we've been a bit shaky across the across the tournament. I was like, we just need to show some good runs.
Oh, these were both very, very solid performances from the both of you.
Definitely. No major mistakes from you, I don't think, right? Just the Fury, which is
Just
sort
the
of out of your
Fury,
control.
yeah.
And then you opted for a slower Warehouse too.
Yeah. Warehouse 2, man. I just thought Warehouse 2, not today.
1:18:54. That's really not a bad time.
No, I'm happy with how I played. All right, I'm gonna
Peace to both
reset.
runners.
Yeah, I'm gonna reset up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna mute again.
We'll go to intermission. We'll get runners. Give them a little break, get set up, and then we'll come back for the sudden death match. Don't go anywhere, people. We will be right back.